The following clip was recorded by user S.Dons. He was using the app with a couple of his friends, and it appeared that Randonautica decided them to go to an abandoned mountain town, of which they had never heard before or been in, and it was abandoned alright, and quite a bit creepy, especially after the sun had set. Let's take a look.
Okay, so this randonauting app just brought us to this creepy town, and honestly when we saw this, we should have turned around and left. We continued up the mountain though, and there's always abandoned cars and nobody around. At this point, we're definitely trespassing. We couldn't even really turn around at this point because the road was so narrow and it was such a steep drop off on the other side. We were kind of intrigued at how creepy this was, even though it was getting dark really quick, and next thing we know, the sun had gone down and the moon came out, giving it just more of a creepy vibe. But we had the pin pulled up, we were so close to it, and this happened. I don't know how to explain this. And a random rock falls. I think that was a sign that we should leave. But we kept going.
That's certainly a dangerous coincidence, but nothing out of the ordinary in an area like that, right? Just imagine somebody would have gotten hit by that though. But then they peeked into one of the abandoned sheds and saw something that terrified them so much that they decided to make it out of there. They stated that they could see a sinister face looking upwards. Can you see it too? Maybe it was just a mask of some sorts, or something completely different. What a terrifying trip. The following sighting was caught by channel with the name Akron Paranormal Investigations in the early morning hours. Gettysburg is known for its many sightings of spirits and ghostly events, and it's not surprising that Akron could capture something really interesting on camera. While the owner of the channel is filming a wide field of where history transpired in 1863, he noticed an odd transparent figure in the distance.
What the heck?
It appears that a man in a black suit and hat is walking across the fields. Is it a spirit from another time period? The cameraman is 100% certain that no living soul was with him, or any other person in general could have been walking these fields at the time. The next video was recorded by Amna's niece's nanny, and at the time she was having fun and laughing with a little baby girl, and nothing out of the ordinary was seen or heard. Her nanny was simply making a video for the family to enjoy later. Yet, after rewatching the video at a later point, she noticed that there seemed to be a weird and unfamiliar voice that she couldn't recognize, and nobody else was there at the time.
Tissue. Manok. Pusa. Manok. Cutie face. Cutie face.
Viewers started speculating that it could be the voice of a spirit that tried to repeat what the little girl was saying, whilst others asked Amna if it simply could have been the baby making that noise. But it seemed unlikely, therefore I'm not sure what exactly was going on that day. What's your best guess?
Cutie face. Cutie face.
We see a man dragging something out of a large hall, which is covered by a heavy iron gate. When he drives off with his car, something pretty strange could be captured on the CCTV camera. This video features 3 young women who were out on a party night over the weekend. After they had decided to call it a night, they went to their apartment. It appears that something else was with them in the car though. Nothing crazy on first glimpse, but let's look a bit closer. What exactly got captured here in the back seat? It looks like an odd face to me. Also noticed the orb flying by on the top of the frame. I guess this one will remain a mystery. The next couple of videos were uploaded by MattHall36, and it all started with a randonaut trip into the woods, where he came across an abandoned car wreck. Not really being a believer in anything paranormal, or strange for that matter, he didn't think anything of it, but he might have taken something home with him that day. Let's take a look.
So we're on the ATV and let's go see where it takes us.
And now, listen closely.
This is weird. There's a car just chilling in the woods. How did they even get in here though? Like, there's trees everywhere. There's no way a car could get in here. This car looks super old. What's that? Holy!
Besides an eerie weird scream, people say they hear a little girl asking for help. How is that possible though? Has the app led him to a gateway into another realm maybe? Or was it just a friend? But it gets way stranger after he returned home that night.
What's that? Holy!
The following video was posted by the Beast 670 and was captured during a Chernobyl trip a while back. It was recorded by 2 paratroopers who were landing on site and venturing through many of the derelict houses and abandoned areas. They did not come across any living person at that time, but found a really odd looking thing on their recording after checking out their footage a while after that. The description only says, "What is that at the right side on the screen? Hashtag Chernobyl trip." Let's see. Could you notice it? Let's take a second look at that. What exactly can you see here? People say it looks like an apparition that is making its way out of the hallway. Others claim it's just a part that came off from the ceiling. In my opinion, it could be both. There's just so much going on in this area though. I guess it will stay a mystery. The following was recorded by a group of students who had a late night class. Besides fooling around, they wanted to investigate a local urban legend, which said that a spirit is roaming this old building every once in a while. At least that's what the video description said. I'm sure some of you know how boring it can get when one has to spend time during a break while at school in the evening. I suppose these young people had the same thought, so they prepared the room and invited anything into our realm that wanted to visit them. So after a short ceremony, they checked different corners of the room and sure enough, captured this. Now the students say that they believe to have captured a ghost, but what's your opinion? To me it looks almost too good to be true. Just a hoax? This video was recorded in front of a house which belonged to an elderly lady. She had passed away a couple of days prior to this recording. Neighbors claimed to have heard unexplained sounds. Some even stated that they saw the lights turning on inside the residence. One morning, a man recorded odd activity on his way to work. I think it is quite hard to make out. After checking the recording at home though, there was something else on the tape. A figure seems to be standing on top of the iron fence. Friends speculated that it could be the Grim Reaper. What do you think?